And we are going to simulate a brand new piece of equipment using the same oil that we've already fortified. And we're going to start from scratch. We're going to take all the weights off. Now, if you remember, the leading brand synthetic carried 3 weights, and the 4th one is the one that collapsed the boundary of lubrication. So there's the 3. That's the one that killed it. So if I go 2 more, that'll be 6, which is twice the carrying load. Still running nice and smooth. Let's see if we can go 3 more, which would be 3 times the load. We're at 3 times the load of what we started with. Let's take a look and see if there's any difference in wear. As you can see, I'm trying to, all you really have is a polish mark at 9 weights compared to a rather large scar mark at 4 weights. Okay, what I'm going to do next is we're going to simulate some catastrophic situations, which as an equipment owner, you never want to see these things happen to you and your pieces of equipment, because it usually means money out of your pocket to repair these situations. I'm going to do these tests using 3 times the load, or 9 weights, with the same oil that we've already fortified. Now let's say that you're cruising down the highway doing 60, 70 miles an hour, your engine light comes on because your oil pump broke or locked up, or whatever reason you have a loss of oil to all those vital friction areas. This should lock up instantly when I move this away. But what I'm showing you here is with Revive in your equipment, it can turn what would normally be a major repair into a minor repair. Now all I'm doing here is pouring half of this out because I'm going to create another catastrophic situation at 3 times the load. I'm going to blow a head gasket, and I'm going to contaminate what we have left with 50-50 water and antifreeze. Once again, I would much rather replace a head gasket or an oil pump versus rebuilding an entire motor. Let's see how much additional damage was created under those extreme conditions. Still no additional damage at all. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that Revive is a 100% petroleum-based product, does not have any controversial solids that can harm your equipment in any way. I'm also going to show you that with Revive, you have that additional protection at startup even after I wipe it off, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to wipe off this race and the bearing, and I'm going to go back to 4 weights where our leading synthetic failed under boundary of lubrication with full film lubrication with a cup full of oil, and show you, number 1, it is 100% petroleum, and number 2, you have that protection at startup even when your equipment sat for quite some time. You start it up, you're running on a lubricant film instead of metal to metal. That reduces your wear. That's protection. Because it doesn't take that long for your oil to start to circulate through all those vital friction areas. But when you have metal to metal, it doesn't take long to create a lot of wear. In a minute, this is going to lock up because that residual that was left after I wiped it off is going to burn off. You can hear it starting to go. Let's give it a little bit of help. Are we talking some protection here? Well, we might as well just talk about the next phase. Is heat. There we go. You got a permanent lockup. That is extreme protection. And we still, I'll even show you this, we still have a very little scar mark, even though I locked it up on purpose, but it took 19 weights to actually lock it up. Which is really the next step that I wanted to show you, was how powerful Revive is in a concentrated form. And we definitely have a permanent lockup right now. And we'll just go back to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll show you how powerful Revive is, even though you just saw it with just the residual. This is a great situation. I'm just going to put a couple drops on the race in the concentrated form. There we go. But this is great for commercial industrial accounts that have larger equipment, and sometimes they have bearings that are starting to go out or gearboxes that are squealing. They might be in the middle of a production run. If they have to do unscheduled maintenance, shut everything down to do unscheduled maintenance on a piece of equipment in the middle of a production run, it could be very, very expensive. So just put a little bit of Revive on it. We word a permanent lockup. You can do your downtime when it's a little bit more convenient. The other last factor is the heat, because with your lubrication, as your equipment gets hotter, your oil gets hotter, it has a tendency to start thinning out and breaking down. Revive has incredible protection, so as your equipment gets hotter, it can handle it with no problem whatsoever, as you just saw. But we'll go through it one more time. And I'm going to shock load it. There's 20 weights. That's about 500,000 pounds per square inch, or 700 foot-pounds of pressure. You can see how hot that's getting. And Revive is still carrying the load, it's handling the pressure, keeping your equipment running, which is a huge benefit. It can definitely extend the life of your equipment dramatically. That's Revive. I want to thank you for your time.